Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to our final.
Yes, I'm excited.
Do you want to coach first or would you like me to coach first?
um, I can coach first, if that is okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Sorry, I won't have my camera on because I look like a complete mess right now. Literally just rolled out of bed. So, yes. Anyway, okay. How have things been?
Mm, they have been, uh, I've been working on, I can't remember if I talked about this, if we've talked about this yet or not, but um, in my own day to day and moment to moment, um, I've been working on doing things step by step and with consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And that is really hard for me.
Right.
I'm I have my my tendencies and what I'm really good at is like generating ideas and moving with those ideas really quickly and like with a lot of energy, and it
Mm-hmm.
is exciting, and I really like that about myself. But it also means that I don't like when I feel into how I want my days and my life to feel. It's like restful and grounded and consistent. And so I have like two opposing things happening. So um I've been working on what's harder for me, and that's just like cultivating this kind of the word I want to use actually is boring. Like it's a little bit boring.
Right.
I'm like, all right, let's go. Um, so that's been an interesting one for me just to just be with, and like all of the moments that I want to push back on that. And um yeah, so that's curious. And um it's also making for like my in business, um my ego and like who I think I am in business and like what I think I want and like the pace that I think that I want to grow at versus what's happening. Um, and there's another. My ego wants things to go really fast. I'm like, let's go. We're going all the
Right.
way up. All of the clients, all of the money, and there's call it soul, call it universe, call it just like the rhythm of what is. It's much slower than that. So
Right.
trying to meet that slowness, without, maybe not without, because it's part of the human condition, but um yeah, there's a lull in my business now, and
Mhm.
I know that, and I knew that that would be happening, and there's still this like urge to like burn it all, not burn it down, but like light it on fire to like, it's an interesting duality. uh,
Right.
yeah, are you are you catching what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so. Because if I'm understanding correctly, I'm like the same way, to be very honest. Let me like ask some clarifying questions. So like you just pretty much push everything forward with a lot of just energy and you want to get there fast. And well, I guess would you say, do you like the process of, working towards something, or do you just like being at the destination?
No, I like the process. If
Okay.
I'm like, when I hit a destination, there'll be another destination.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. or often like I'll pivot before I even get there because I'll have like another idea or another thing, or it'll evolve and like the original destination changes anyway. So
Right.
definitely more about the process.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So you said that um you like that about yourself. But since you're kind of working on like I want to say like slowing down a little bit, how does it, I guess, I don't know if this is the right word, but hold you back in some sense?
Mm. That how does the like the fast fiery part hold me back?
Yeah, or just how do you see it like hindering your, I don't know.
Yeah. So what I really want is like under all of it, under like the why for me, the why in business, the why in money, um, the why in life is to it's like connection. It's
Mm-hmm.
the resonance between two people when we're like really 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 being together,
Mm-hmm.
without the facades and the stuff and the obligations and the things that we think that we're supposed to say, but just like this resonation between two human beings. And in order to be with that connection, there has to be this like deep savoring of the present moment, like,
Mm-hmm.
to be so fully in the present, to be entirely in my body and like in this moment, not in the next one, not in a past one, like not not in the future, not in the past. And when I'm in generative idea mode, that is that really strong suit for me, I it like pops me out of the present moment. I like forget to be
Right.
here.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if I answered your question.
No, that's definitely helpful. Um, so you said you've been working on it so far, right?
Yeah.
How's it been going?
Terrible. I hate it. um I have I have moments, and I it's like I'm rerouting a pattern, and that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
We've done this thing again and again and again and again, and it's hard to like switch lanes and go over here. Um and when I'm in this, like the one that I'm practicing, I notice the places in myself where I'm like, I don't want to be here. I'm gonna go back over here.
Right.
And so there's kind of this like pivoting or like a jumping back and forth in a titration where I like catch myself in one and like looking at the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the places in myself when I'm fighting back against that way of being
Mm-hmm.
that I really want. So yeah, it feels like a practice for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Can
Yeah.
you think of some successes you've had with it so far?
Hmm. Yeah. Um, so part of this, and also something that I um, intentionally work on, and then I forget, and then I come back to it, and then I forget, um, is like when things aren't moving as quickly as I want them to in my business,
Mm-hmm.
um, I can easily fall into like I have to make things happen. I have to.
Right.
There's kind of this like maybe like a pushing or a forcing or like a grabby kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to create from there. I don't want a business from that space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I get there and then I come back and I get there and then I come back. But I I just I think this was like 2 or 3 days ago. Um, I had this idea that is that is different. Where like it started with that like I got to make something happen. I got to
Mm-hmm.
like it's December, I have Christmas coming up. I still haven't paid my rent. I'm like I feel kind of fucked,
Right.
I got to do something. Um and again, creating from that like I have to make this happen space isn't what I want to create from. So I'm like, all right, what if we make a there's another layer to this where I'm like, again, when I feel into what I want my life to feel like, it's deeply present and connective and
Mhm.
joyful and playful. And I found myself waking up not in that, like not joyful and not playful. And I'm
Right.
like Carly, you're a coach. If you were coaching your client on this, what would you do? And do that, like coach yourself.
Right.
And that's a practice of joyfulness and playfulness. So that's what I want to create, is this like for my audience, for my clients in this like group setting, is this 7 day like joy cultivation immersion like lab
Mhm.
where I'm working on or like bringing them and practicing them um in my own practice and in my life, and then bringing them to this container.
Mhm.
um, and to get back to your question, um approaching this like, yes, I'm moving something, yes, I'm generating something, but I have this one rule where I'm only allowed to create and to talk about this from a place of joyfulness and play.
Right.
And as soon as I get serious in it, then I can't post anything about it, or I can't write an email from that place.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah. So I
And
feel really,
it's
really excited about that.
yeah, that's great because it sounds like you kind of utilize both what's the word? I can't think of the word. I guess both extremes or aspects and created something for your clients as well because that could be very helpful to someone else as well.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool how you were able to do that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess moving forward, where do you kind of see yourself going with it? And I guess how are you going to measure like when you're in that mind space, I guess?
Mm, mhm. Like checkpoints.
Yeah.
Yeah. How to measure that. That's um I don't know.
Do
So
you even want to measure it?
I mean I do, but I feel like the measurement for me is like it's not it's not quantifiable, right? There's
Mhm.
not like a number or like an amount. But when I again it's a state, so like maybe measuring it and just like checking in,
Yeah.
almost like holding myself accountable. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I wake up in the morning, how do I want to be waking up? And that's not to say that I want to like bypass or shift like the truth of waking up, because like sometimes we wake up grumpy and
Yeah.
gray.
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to just like ignore that, be like, I'm happy, right?
Right.
That's not it. But to choose into that practice, into like being with the truth and then shifting it. But these checkpoints for myself, I guess throughout the day, like in the morning, how do you want your day to feel, Carly? And
Right.
then like, I don't know, twice throughout the day, just like, I don't know if that's like setting an alarm on my phone that's like, check in with your joy body or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like a reflection process at the end of the day, maybe like looking back,
Mm-hmm.
like, did you hold yourself to this?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So kind of like a mindfulness practice every day.
Yes.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah, I can feel that part of the first part of me that I was talking about, that like fast, fiery, like super powerful part of me, like hears you say mindfulness practice, and I'm like, ugh.
Right.
which is exactly the spot, right?
Um,
But yeah, that's absolutely it.
what would you define it as, or how would you want to define it?
I think that's perfect. I feel like
Okay.
that's exactly what I needed to hear. Like those words were perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's great. Okay. Um, so you said you wanted to do it like kind of twice a day, morning and maybe in the evening,
Let's say 3 times a day. In
three
the
times.
morning is intentional, like setting the intention for the day. And then midday is just like a reminder, like
Mm-hmm.
what state are you choosing to be in? Because I feel like midday can really be that grind. I'm in this like
Right.
forward motion, I'm doing things, and that place is also not present at all. Like,
Right.
so yeah, just a reminder in the middle of the day. And I
Okay.
really think that can just be like an alarm on my phone that's like, check in with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
or go dance, or go take a walk, or something like that.
Right.
Um, yeah, and then an evening reflection. And I feel like I need to tell myself that an evening reflection doesn't have to be like, I don't have to sit down for 10 minutes or journal for pages and pages. It can be
Right.
just like one reflection, one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely, just how you explained it, definitely makes sense of why it might be good to do like three times a day. Do you see any possible challenges or um, that you could run into with that?
Yeah, it's a great question. Um, yeah, it's easy for me um, to ignore it,
Hmm.
be like, yeah, 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 I'll do that in 20 minutes. And
Right.
then it's time to go to bed. Um, mhm. But like, am I explaining my way out of this? Maybe. But the practice itself is simply mindfulness, right? And that's like
Hmm.
all that takes is like a breath and a moment and a noticing.
Right.
So I feel like even if I do just like turn the page and like, yeah, I'll get to that in a minute, at least there is that moment, even if it's like a split second of a
Yeah.
reminder.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And it is, like you've said, like it is a practice. It is something that will grow with time. And, so yeah, I feel as though just bringing attention to it and, you know, just thinking about it is practicing. So
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
that feels really good. Thank you.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, I know I've always tried to be mindful and I'm just like, should I journal or should I? Yeah, so I definitely understand where you're coming from with that.
Mhm.
But yeah, just the intention will be great. Okay, let's see. So, is there anything else you would like to discuss about? How do you feel after we've had our little conversation?
No, not at all. I feel great.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Um,
You feel ready to switch?
yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Okay. So I feel like some wheels have changed and some motion has changed for you. Your job
Yes,
changed.
it has.
What do you want to catch me up on?
um, well, I guess I'll just start from the beginning or whatever. Um, so I haven't so things have changed with my esthetician school. Like I'm still going, but just how I'm gonna pay for it. My dad just happened to offer. He was like, for your graduation gift and Christmas gift, you want me to just cover your esthetician school? And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be very great.
Dad,
Yeah, I was like,
wow.
oh, I know. So I was like, okay. So because I wanted to work just to be able to, pay for it basically and just get it done and over with. So that kind of opens up some things. Because like I don't want to get stuck in another just position I hate.
Yeah,
Like I just can't function. I don't know if I don't know. Maybe if I had more like financial responsibility, I'd be able to deal with it more. But I'm just like, I'm not the type of person who can just work in an environment I hate.
me too. I feel you.
Yeah. So like, um, right now, instead of trying to find another job per se, I'm kind of focused on, I guess, social media, really. I feel really weird saying that because it's so, I don't know, but that's really what I'm focusing on right now. And I've started a TikTok and my like little, I guess, subject I'm focused on is like fitness related. Um, so yeah, that's where I am. And I don't think I'd be able to do it by myself, but I have my boyfriend supporting me and he's like, I don't know, kind of like a genius once it comes to like this stuff because he got his sister pretty big on TikTok.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I trust you and see how it works. But yeah, that's
Mhm.
where I am.
Cool. When you say it makes you feel weird saying that, what feels weird for you?
um, well, firstly, just that, just with my generation, like it's just because I experienced life without technology and life with dependent on technology, just in my whole lifetime. So it's just weird that I can make a career out of this,
Mm,
because my boyfriend was telling me about how much his sister makes just from, social media and she makes more than him and he works, full-time, good paying job. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds very nice. And all she does is like, just record TikToks, get pretty and just, all that stuff. And, you know, I'm just like, that sounds great. And she has her own schedule and just all that stuff. So I'm like, it feels just weird knowing that that could be my life,
mm.
if that makes sense. I feel like
Sure.
I got to work a little harder, but I'm like, let's stop denying that that could happen and just do it.
Yeah. Um, to fulfill my own curiosity, um, how does how does revenue come in through that? Like
Honestly,
how
go
do
ahead.
people pay you?
Um, because what I've learned from his sister is she does like live streaming and I've seen it like myself. Some people do the stupidest things and people still just give them like there's little like tokens you can give or they're like stickers, but they have money worth and people just donate them to people. And so I'm like, I don't know why I just wouldn't, but I'm
Yeah.
like, people will do that, then cool. But also, since she has such a big following, she gets like brand deals and gets commission off of, people buying from her link or just whatever like that. So you definitely need to establish a following base first, which is what I'm working on. But yeah.
Wild. Super cool. Okay. How does it feel for you to show up on camera?
Ah, terrible. Cause I'm like, I can't I don't like showing my face on like Zoom, meetings or just school in general. And
I know.
it's been a weird process because I feel so self-conscious. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm,
Yeah. I don't like looking at myself,
mhm,
but
mhm. When when do you like looking at yourself?
um I mean, I feel like I think there's actually been research done on this, but I feel like the camera really distorts your features because I feel like I look completely different like in front of a mirror than I do in a camera, and the camera just like, ugh, I
Mhm,
hate it.
mm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does. I just watched something about this the other day as well,
Hmm.
where the image that we see in the mirror is not what everybody else sees. And so
Yeah.
there's like a what's what's normalized to us and what's normalized to our outside world looking at us is totally different.
Hmm.
Um, so, which is incredible and so curious. Um, but it sounds like that this piece for you could be pivotal in how you show up on
Yeah.
on TikTok. Um, so I'm wondering if you have any ideas in how you can build your familiarity with how you perceive yourself, or some normalcy or some compassion, or
Right.
what's come up for you.
Um, it's like how I'm gonna handle it or how I plan on handling it is just keep doing it, even though, it doesn't necessarily feel comfortable. I feel like just getting used to myself in that way, I'll get over it. And I mean, I like to think like everyone at some point feels self-conscious about how they look or just how, you know, the camera perceives them, or certain angles just don't work for anyone. So I guess that's another thing, is like I'm like I need to find my angles. I need to find, I guess, the lighting is a big thing as well.
Mhm,
I've been doing a lot of research on TikTok and just looking at what other like fitness influencers do and how they like set their camera up, how they do their lighting, um all that stuff, because I'm like, it can't just be me. That just looks weird all the time, but maybe that's my own perception. But um yeah, so I'm definitely just doing some research right now as to see how I can make, I don't know, it better. I don't want to say better, but just like I want to look presentable in a way that I like. If I answered your question, I think I maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but follow that up for me. What does presentable in a way that you like, what does that mean for you?
I really like the professional look. Like I put a lot of effort, not necessarily into my appearance, but like just quality angles and lighting, if that makes sense. Cause like if you look on social media, you can tell who really put effort into,
Mhm,
you know, a good quality video versus a person who just kind of set their phone up and just hit record.
mhm. Yeah,
Makes
absolutely.
sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want.
Mhm. Can I ask you a question as a business and brand coach?
Yeah.
What what parts of you do you want to bring to this? Like what? Because it can't. It's not all just angles and lighting,
Right.
right? And like and getting yourself pretty. There's to make something magnetic and
Mhm.
authentic. There's the you-ness. So,
Right,
what parts of
definitely.
you are excited about sharing? Or,
Yeah, that's a really good question. Cause yeah, honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna, because my boyfriend was talking about that too. He's like, you can't just be, a pretty face, which I knew that, but I'm just like, I don't know how to present my personality at this point. Um,
okay.
yeah.
Um, so without without TikTok, without
Mhm.
like there's a lot of pressure in this, right? There's a lot of pressure in showing up as you as this perception of yourself that you want to share. So without all of that, we just like strip it away and like push it out and it's
Mhm.
just you. It's
Right.
just you and doing something that you love. You're just like
Mhm.
in the sunshine, maybe you're working out, maybe you're on the beach, maybe you're hiking, I don't know, whatever you love to do.
Right.
What do you what do you love about yourself? Like personality, characteristic, feeling, description, when you look at yourself almost like objectively, like you've like zoomed out and you're looking at you in your
Mhm.
happy space and you're like, I love that. What do you love?
Um, let's see. I guess just my, I guess, I hate talking about myself, but like, I guess smartness and I guess like I like that I'm kind and caring. And I don't know, because like just from how I look, I get told a lot because I have like a pretty bad resting bitch face. But like, like I'm actually like the most like, I want to say like bubbly and like just kind and energetic like person. This like outside of that.
Yeah, perfect. And what do you like to do when you're like my the ideal day? My day is clear. I don't have to do work. I don't have to do school. I don't have to record anything. I'm just going to be me and my maybe it's just you, maybe it's your boyfriend, I don't know. What do
Right.
you do? What is your day like? Like money is no object. You can fly anywhere. What do you want to
Yeah.
do?
Um, honestly, I really like I like fitness and working out, so that would always be a part of it, like going to the gym. And then also, I like dressing very in a certain way, like cute, I guess. And I like, like just the matching like sets and stuff and just dressing cozy. I guess dress is very big because I hate being uncomfortable in clothing. So I'm like, that is always on my mind. And then also I just really like the idea of decorating my own space the way I like it. So like I guess that would include like going to like Target or something and just picking, some decor out and bringing it home and being all happy.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I can feel you there. So So we set up your space record to record. um are you doing like fitness instructionals, like this is how you do split squats? um
Um,
what does
that's
it
what I
look
want to move into,
Yeah.
but I also want to go into like, because I've studied herbalism. I want to be like, this is what you can take if you want to lower like inflammation after a workout or just help
Cool.
with overall energy and all that stuff. And also kind of want to move into like lifestyle stuff, like, you know, get ready for the gym with me or what's in like, just silly stuff like that as well. I also want to do like cooking, but we both know how I am with that, but that'll be a future once I get that down. But that's like also a part of it, but definitely not there yet.
I really love that for you. I love how edgy that feels. That's like, I want to do cooking, but
Right.
like there's a lot of power in that. I love that.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll get there. Definitely not there yet, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's this really cool thing about building confidence in when we build confidence in one thing, it builds confidence in another thing, builds confidence in another thing.
Mhm.
Which is really cool because it means that we can work on something that feels accessible and tangible. And it just means that it opens up other doors for ourselves too.
Right.
Um, when I first started coaching, um, and actually what I want to say is when I first started posting, just like posting about coaching,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then like the next edgiest thing for me was posting um, movement videos of
Mm-hmm.
myself. I was like, just like I can't, like I wanted to die. I felt like I was gonna die, and
Right.
and each time I would post the next thing, it like expands my confidence and my nervous system and my ability to get bigger in the next thing and then in the next thing and then in the
Mm-hmm.
next thing. And so now I can look back on what I was posting 2 years ago that was like so squeamy for me. And I look back at that, I'm like, oh, that was so sweet.
Right.
I was so scared.
Yeah, you could really see like the growth and progress within yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So all of this that you just described, about yourself and what you love about yourself and what you love to do and to share with people feels like a really beautifully rounded, um, I don't want to call it a package, but kind of.
Yeah. I'd say, yeah, I get what you
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah. So I think it feels, if this doesn't land, let me know, but it feels like if I were to go in and just make a like strict fitness video, this is how you do split squats. And
Mm-hmm.
like my backdrop is perfect and pristine and my lighting is pristine. If I were to do just that, it would feel like too manicured,
Right.
because there's none of me or there's none of
Mm-hmm.
you. And so when you talk about um, your intelligence and weaving in uh, your gifts and your like how you can support people nutritionally and herbally, and holistically as
Mm-hmm.
well. Like I felt you light up when you said that.
Right.
And there's you in that. It's not just like this is the form and this is how you breathe and
Right.
make sure that your your glutes are tucked or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's you, and that's at least what I've learned. That's what people want to feel, is the
Definitely.
you-ness. And like
Yeah.
sometimes that is messy. We're not perfect human beings.
Right.
Um, And even like how can you bring in your passion for dressing cute and in matching sets and cozy, like can you bring in some play in that? What would that mean for you to show up like that?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I don't know yet. Yeah, because I'm like right now I feel like I just need to really sit down and figure out how I am going to present myself before I kind of move forward. Um, yeah, because I'm like, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it has to be like this idea of how you're going to present yourself? Do you feel like it has to be perfect and dialed before you present yourself, like before you show up?
Um, mm, do you mean like the product video perfect or myself perfect?
Yourself.
Um, I'd say it's more the product I want to be because I think, myself is like me myself is like fine and presentable, but it's just like how I want to capture that is how I want it to be perfect, if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Hmm. Sure. Yeah. Um, I have one more question in just in what you shared.
Hmm.
Um, I think aesthetically is the question I want to ask when you say that you'd love to go to Target and pick out things for space and fill the space with how it feels good for you. Um, what can you describe that? Like what are the things? What does that feel like? What are you buying?
Um, I guess stuff that looks like my Pinterest boards.
What does it look like?
um, just um, really aesthetic but minimal stuff. Like, now I need to look. Hold on. So I'm like, because I really like plants, and I feel like those just decorate a space so well. But let's see. I guess just I don't know how to describe it, but just stuff I look at and it's like that satisfaction within is just like complete, and like every time I look at it, I'll be like, oh my gosh, that was such a great like decision.
Mm-hmm.
Because for example, I'm looking at like my Pinterest board right now, and because I have so many categories within my little like vision board, and because I have stuff just for my cat, and it's like this little like bowl set up to where it's in like a wooden casing and it has rocks, and then the bowls are within those rocks, so it just looks all naturey. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if I were to just come across that when I wake up to feed my cat, I'd be like, yes, that is great.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, just stuff like if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you feel like you could bring the aesthetics of your Pinterest boards to your TikTok sets?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why, yeah, I'm so iffy right now because I'm just like it's not what I'm doing isn't fitting my
Hmm.
my aesthetic.
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I feel like that alignment piece for you will feel better
Yeah.
and also be received better because you feel genuine.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
if you are genuinely excited by this wooden cat bowl with the rocks,
Hmm.
like there's there's so many supposed to's, right? Like we're supposed to show up like this, we're supposed to look like this, but none of those are actually rules. Like if
Right.
you made a, I don't know why I keep going back to split squats, but like if you made a split squats instructional video and your cat was in it, in
Right.
your cute bowl, I would
Right.
be like, I want to watch that because
Right.
that feels like you.
Yeah.
And no one else is doing that, I don't think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I just followed this girl yesterday and she'll like, she has like this, she goes to the gym and she has this microphone she attaches to her, like, shirt or whatever. And then she'll be talking about something and then she'll do like a video. Like what'd she do? She's like talking about like coffee and then she showed a video of her making coffee, or she was talking about this song and then started playing the song, and I thought that was just such like a cool, like, I don't know, like engaging way, and she was still being herself within it because she was
Mhm.
just talking about random stuff, like it wasn't anything, like just whatever came to her mind.
I
So
love that. Hmm.
yeah, so I was like, maybe I could do something like that. But then I'm like, I need to find a microphone like her. So the gym is loud.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Um, it is. That I've found that tech stuff like that is like if you build it bit by bit, it makes it feasible rather than
Mm.
like if we look at all of the things all at once, that's like, that's easily $2,000. But if you
Yeah.
buy the microphone, that's like, you know, $20. And
Mhm.
then the lighting, that's like $40 or, whatever. That makes it easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, I really love that. There's something really human about that,
Hmm.
sharing from that space. Because like when we're when we're at the gym, it's not like what's going up up here, or like the internal dialogue is not like it's not all like this is the split squat, this is the form, like your make sure your knee is tracking the direction of your toe, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
we're elsewhere. We're like thinking about making coffee and a conversation we
Mhm.
had last night and the cat bowl and whatever. I think that's hilarious
Right.
and super human.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I guess it's like vlogging pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I guess because that's another thing I'd have to work on is just the confidence to present myself in such, or just my thoughts. But I think I should definitely, yeah, I think I'm just overthinking it. And
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, one of my overall goals is to just work on my overall just confidence and just do whatever. And I've kind of been doing it on my Snapchat, just posting whatever. Like I used to be like, oh no, I can't do this or this because someone might think this, but recently I've just been kind of posting just random stuff, and just to kind of work on getting rid of that uncomfortable feeling of being so vulnerable, I guess.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's a process, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. When you feel into confidence for you,
Hmm.
you are confident.
Yeah,
And there's a version of you that already is. Like, you know what that feels like in your body, right?
definitely.
What does that feel like? What does your body feel like? What does your life feel like?
um it's like honestly a sense of belonging.
Yeah,
Like I'm taking up space and I belong here.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next for you in incorporating you-ness into your you-ness and your desires into your videos?
um I think I'm going to definitely start trying to adopt that blogging style. Do like little voiceovers, maybe. I don't feel like spending money on a microphone right now. I'm just not the finance, not there. So just finding my way around that. And then also just keep exposing myself, basically, just pushing myself out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it feels good.
I'm gonna
For
be so excited when you pop up in my sphere randomly. Be like, it's my girl.
Yes.
Yeah, very beautiful. Thanks for sharing that with me.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Mhm. Is there anything else I can help you with directionally or to be seen or witnessed in?
No, I think I'm good. This is really helpful and definitely eye opening. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Mm.
All right. Will you reach out if you need anything? Okay.
Hey, thank you. You as well.
Yeah, I will. All right.
Okay,
Thanks, Kay.
thanks.